booties for black girl nerds.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Kathryn, starting with you, do you think that Lisa's trauma from her past is what makes it so easy for her to take these adventures with Creature? Or did he expose something that was already inside of her that was bubbling up from the surface?
That's such a cool question. Well, I feel like she's someone who's dealing with grief and she's super internal and doesn't think anyone can hear her, right? No one's listening to her. And then she raises a guy from the dead who literally can't talk. So all he can do is listen. And I feel like trauma can sometimes be a gift and lead you to other places inside yourself through that self-realization. Your imagination might be better, or your dreams might be more vibrant. So she's definitely down to be creative with Creature, and man, do they get up to some creative bad things.
Indeed, they do. Cole, you were performing in this film with little to no dialogue. Did that challenge your performance, or was it easier for you emoting your dialogue?
I think when I signed on, I thought it would be easier. I'm not gonna lie. I thought, oh great,
Easy gig.
I'm not gonna have to learn any lines. This is gonna be awesome. No, but I think it just proved itself to be very different, and a lot of the old crutches that I had with like great dialogue, like with what Diablo writes, such iconic dialogue. I didn't have, so I had to.
You didn't get any of the good lines.
I know. I worked with a movement coach that helped me out quite a bit.
And Kathryn, I lived through the 80's, and this felt very nostalgic, seeing your wardrobe, your hairstyle.
I hope
Like
so.
crimping iron. Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I was like, okay, I remember all that cool stuff back in the day. But for you, this had to be new, because you're much younger than me. What did you enjoy most about the styles and the aesthetics of 80's culture while filming this?
I mean, everything I know of the 80's I've learned through pictures, right? So there's such a visual, like, there's something so iconic about the 80's, and I think it starts with the style and the hair, if I do say so myself. And the hair was really important to me for this role. I really fought for a wig, and without Zelda, probably wouldn't have gotten one. But I don't think it would have been the same, like, if you didn't have that element of the 80's. Like, that's what she was influenced by. But I don't know. I mean, you were part of the 80's. You probably know more than I do. I mean, why are we so obsessed with that time period? And I think it's because of what it looks like. Like, I love Madonna. I love so much. Like, I love Flock of Seagulls. There's so much of the 80's that have inspired who I am. So to be a part of this movie was really fun for me, because I don't have to just do it on Halloween. I got to do it for a couple weeks.
Absolutely. Well, this was so much fun to just be able to dive into it, and the nostalgia of it all was so great too. Love seeing your performances. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to Black Girl Nerds. It was great to be able to talk with you guys today, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate it.
Very nice to meet you. Speaking to us.
Absolutely. Diablo, I want to start with you. The name Lisa to me is such a quintessentially 80's name. I think of Lisa and the Cult Jam, Lisa Frank, yeah, Lisa Bonet. So, I mean, maybe I'm reading too deep in this, but did you like look at Lisa names from the 80's when you were thinking of the name Lisa for this character and the title Lisa Frankenstein?
So I definitely wanted the title character to have like a total 80's Gen X name. So I was thinking about like Stacy, Tracy, Kelly, and then I thought about Lisa, who's the lead character from the movie Weird Science, which was a real inspiration for this movie. And so I went with Lisa as kind of an homage.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm not too far off. That's great. Zelda, I saw your Twitter profile and the images that inspired you for Lisa Frankenstein, and I saw that you had a shot from Edward Scissorhands as one of the images. And I did notice a similar cadence and movement between the creature and the Edward Scissorhands character. So was that character inspired by Cole's creature?
Well, I mean, for me, there's a number of characters that I'd say feel like they have relationship to Creature. I mean, I also had him watch a lot of Buster Keaton stuff, Bub from Day of the Dead, and Edward Scissorhands. I mean, he's an automaton technically in that movie. He's a mechanical man, but certainly where Creature started, there is a jumpiness to how he walks and how he navigates the world. And as he got more human, we wanted it to get smoother, so Cole and I walked through that a lot. There's a lot of levels to Creature in this, depending on how alive he is at the time.
And back to Diablo, the vibe of this story, it felt like stories that I've read out of like Christopher Pike books back in the day.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
the R.L. Stein Fear Street books. Did you use or read from any of those narratives while you were crafting this script and use those as inspiration?
You know, I wasn't really thinking about Christopher Pike or R.L. Stein because I think those were a little after my time as a young reader. I was thinking about, like, you know, Tim Burton movies. I was thinking about Beetlejuice. I was thinking about the kind of paranormal comedies that I grew up with. And I've been a fan of both horror and comedy pretty much my entire life. So the ability to kind of mash up those genres is something that I really enjoy.
And Zelda, is there a scene, because there's so many great scenes and moments that occur throughout this film, is there a scene or a moment that still resonate with you even to this day?
I mean, all of them, but I'm very particularly fond of the moment in the car with Taffy before Lisa goes and kind of makes all of these much more large permanent decisions. But she gets to have this moment of exchanging apologies and remorse and love, which I thought was so lovely. I mean, Taffy had her back the whole time and really did care about her and clearly gave her a lot of advice,
Yeah.
as you see in the movie. And I kind of loved the sisterly moment in there. You don't get to have that often, I find. So that one really still sticks with me all the time.
Well, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to Black Girl Nerds. This was delightful, entertaining film, and I can't wait for everybody else to see it. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for
Nice to
yours.
meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds. Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds.